Hey everyone, this week we are talking about social media, which is a pretty exciting topic to me as I'm on it, I use it, and I deal with a lot of issues related to social media on a weekly basis or monthly basis. So we got to read some really fantastic studies this week. We all read them together, so I won't go into too much detail. But demographics of the study included teenagers in 2012 and 2018, ages 12 to 17, and teachers who were surveyed, as well as just other legal stories or stories of success and how we use social media to leverage student performance and engagement in our classrooms. So loved some of these things from this trend lines. The future of social media education kind of gave a good vision for how we might be able to use this. And this is from 2009, so it's pretty old, really old, considering where we're at today. Loved a couple of things. Use a bottom-up approach. More and more students own smartphones. We saw the percentages of that go through the roof, but I would say that that's much, much higher today than it was even in 2018. Let students teach students in a safe and structured environment. I love the idea of giving students leadership and advocacy and a voice for helping their peers to learn a little bit about social media. And then I thought that this gold standards advice was very, very good. So of those demographics, what are students saying? I try to kind of summarize some of the things from the different studies. Simply put, in not great detail, most feel social media is good for them. Some have experienced bad things related to social media, and most believe it makes them feel more connected. So if you looked at this one section of the study, it shows loneliness between 2012 and 2018. 13% felt more lonely as a result of social media. 11% felt more depressed, and 22% felt better about themselves. So those were kind of surprising to me. I think a lot of times we assume that all social media is bad for kids. We have a lot of fear around that. I know I certainly do, and some preconceived notions about social media, but I have to remind myself that most of what I deal with on a daily basis is the bad things that happen when social media is used in school, and there are probably thousands of good, positive experiences between those few things that I get to deal with. I wanted to leverage some of our Royal Valley data here, so this is a little bit ugly, but what I connection that I made was to our Kansas Community That Cares data, and so thinking about anxiety and depression. During the past 12 months, did you ever feel so sad or hopeless almost every day for 2 weeks or more in a row that you stopped doing some usual activities? And so we want a lower score. And if you look at our Royal Valley data here, 2018, 2019, 32.2%. 36.3%, and then 39.1%. So we're seeing an increase of people feeling sad and hopeless. Also, a little bit of a decrease in suicidal ideations, but still, some of this data that we're looking at is very concerning when you think about how peers are interacting with each other. And if a lot of that is happening on social media, I have to make an assumption that there is some kind of a correlation to that. Okay, so more about what students are saying. They are saying they really enjoy texting each other rather than calling each other on the phone or having phone conversations with other people in a professional manner. This is the opposite of what our businesses are saying that they want from kids. They don't want young adults leaving high school, entering the workforce, entering college, that don't have proper communication skills. So while social media is great, we've got to figure out how to train kids to use social media and also have some of those personal skills required to be successful in the world. Um, so this one was a little bit about how they feel about their popularity, their confidence, and it seems as though social media has kind of the opposite of what I would have assumed, which would have been lack of confidence, lack of popularity. However, here they're saying, okay, I feel more popular, I feel more confident, I feel better about myself, and then a little bit of like, okay, I feel a little bit more anxious, a little bit more depressed, or a little bit less anxious, a little bit less depressed, a little bit less lonely as a result of social media. So, excellent, absolutely positive parts of that. Then there was this other study about K-12 educators. What are teachers saying? They're saying younger teachers get it. Admin have the hardest time with it. Hey, welcome to the admin story. We do have a hard time with it. Librarians are using it well and understand it, or at least are participating in more social media groups. Back in 2009, I can't remember the exact date of when this was published, but it was pretty old. And non-digital natives struggle with it, but it's a new reality. Everyone's trying it out. I loved this comment on page 33 of the study. This kind of tool is not an option in education anymore. As teachers and practitioners preparing 21st century learners, we must better educate and inform ourselves about how to take the best benefits out of them. The most important reason for this is the way in which our students are learning today. Just love that comment. Thought it was worth reading again. Safety and policy concerns. I found those articles very interesting just because I've dealt with some of those issues. Actually had to dismiss teachers as a result of social media posts, gone through Kansas Association of School Board legal department for things. So I felt that those articles were very relevant to the job of a district level leader. My advice to our staff when these things happen is know that anything that you post represents you and is public, even if you think it is not. And then my other thing is try to refrain from using your personal social media account to communicate with your families. If you do, follow professional guidelines in all of your posts. Inappropriate student use is a kind of a fear. Yes, it happens. Yes, prepare for it. Yes, know your district policies. Follow district policies while treating all with equal value. Make sure you have permission and releases for all use. So I just go back to follow district policy, follow district policy, follow district policy. It's written for a reason, and if you follow it, you're going to be just fine. That's kind of the speech that I talk to my new teachers about. So what do we do with this information? Well, I think we use social media. We're professional. We follow our policies. I think that the quote from the educator earlier was absolutely correct. This is our reality, and this is where we're headed. I just want us to be headed in the right direction where we're keeping kids safe. Some of the things that we do as a school, we find lots of different ways to connect with families, social media being one of them. We have anonymous reporting measures for cyberbullying, digital anonymous reporting measures so that we can get text alerts in the evening time if there's something going on. We incorporate security measures for school devices that flag bullying, depression, suicide, and other concerning trends. That gets emailed to us, and then we end up making phone calls to parents if those things pop up on our cell phones or our computers in the evening time. And we're clear and upfront with all staff on the use of social media and district policies and their legal rights. So this is just my personal comments on here. This is kind of my dad view. When I hear social media for kids, I have all these areas of concerns listed, but then I also think there's a lot of areas of opportunities in the education world. So I really am concerned about social emotional well-being of students. I really am concerned about anxiety, depression, cyberbullying, work ethic, too much time, too much screen time, student safety. I can tell you some horror stories about student safety as related to social media and location services and people finding kids and things like that will just freak you out. Then there's always these just really fantastic areas of opportunities if we leverage social media for engagement and for the purpose of connecting people in a positive way. Rapid and mass communication is a great aspect of social media. Bite-sized learning or micro-learning, increased creativity. I love the opportunity for social media use to reach our introverted students and just the relevance that it has with our daily lives and our students' daily lives. All right, thank you guys for listening to me jabber on a little bit about this. I'm excited to listen to what you all had to say and waiting for some fantastic feedback from us as colleagues. It's been fun.